Peace. Um, let's see how I want to do this. Let's turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a notch. All right, cool. Um, today is 1/11, right? January 11th, 2014. Um, I don't know how do I want to word this. Like these are very sacred times we living in. You definitely want to put your best foot forward if you're studying this synchronicity. That's why I named it the synchronicity of light code lockdown transmissions in 2024. So a couple things you need to get when you're trying to get up on game. I'm gonna drop a couple Jews on you. This is one of the first courses of the first term. No, it's one of the first courses of the first section of like the fourth course. And like I said, some of these are for free. Some of these are just to get you into the information. Some of these are just, you got to pay for those. We got some also private consultations we're gonna have. I'm gonna have my number on the screen and also my contact area where you can reach me at live. My direct number, just leave a message. I definitely want to get into the synchronicity of a lot of things that's going on because we're not really having a lot of um how do I want to word it? It's a lot of good things happening out there if you let it be good things. If you're trying to do too much at one time, then yeah, you would definitely have it would definitely fail for you. But if you are trying to be in alignment, then this is the perfect time to be in alignment. I do also want to bring up something. No, first and foremost, let's go to getting the reading. I love this tarot deck. It's a Maya tarot deck. That's his contact information on there. I can leave something by Nicholas Bruno. I can leave some things inside of the. I'm just not a paid advertisement. I really enjoy his tarot deck. The graphics are out of this world. So we're gonna get into a little bit of something like this. I like shuffling up the deck. And I made mention to one of my friends the other day when somebody's trying to when they kept saying, "Hey man, let's play cards. Let's play cards." They want a reading, and they don't know why they want a fucking reading. They just know that they want one, and or it's a message for you. Just like if there is a bird on your mailbox, if you go outside, there's a bird on your car. Uh, yeah, there's a message for you. There's just a couple things we're gonna lay it down like this. And that's deep that people do that because when you go inside of very ancient times, they do like that with the cards. That's very, very deep. I'm gonna do a four-way spread on the common knowledge and information for the new year. The 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 problems is gonna occur. So the common knowledge, the problems are gonna occur. What's the resolution, and what's gonna be the outcome? I don't know if you can see the cards. So let's see if we can try to get at least the cards on there. Okay. Yeah, that worked out pretty good. So this is a 6 of Wands. It's pointed right side up. Let's go over here. 6 of Wands. Victory, overcoming hardship and desire. Okay. Solutions. That's going to be death turned upside down. So that's going to be the opposite of death, which we all know what it is. However, I do want to be more thorough. Right. Transformation, mortality, final impurity, and renovation is going to be the opposite of that. Inevitable change is going to be a lot of change, and it's going to be opposite transformation. What is the resolution? 5 of Coins, turn upside down. 5 of Coins, financial instability. So there will be a financial stable ship. a hardship. There will be the opposite of poverty. The opposite. There'll be actually a lot of money to be made in this year coming, and that's the solution. What is the overall outcome? That was a solution. Money is this is the overall outcome. Ace of Swords, but it's the opposite of that. Birth of energy, clear focus, sharp perception. So it's going to be opposite of sharp perception. It's going to be the opposite of great energy. It's going to be the opposite of that. The opposite of clear focus is going to be still murky and muddy. Okay, I get that. I see that. I hear that. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm burning a couple different incense right now. So we're going to put these back up, right? Make sure everything is done correctly. My nephew was in here painting the other night, and both my nephews was in here painting, so that's why it's kind of like a little bit, they was doing a whole lot. I was just letting them run wild. And also, I got to straighten this area up, but I had to get this information out. The synchronicity of the day is one. This is one of those angelic days. I want to talk about that. Okay, let's, and also with this Nicholas Bruno, I got this more further in depth tarot readings. That's what it land on. The Hangman. That's deep. The more further in depth tarot readings, they have a lot more explanations on them, or whatever. So he does a wonderful job, and I just want to give a shout out to his tarot deck. I love his tarot deck. I really do. The graphics are just crazy. I think the whole setup was like $80, something like that. Got some new little candles. And of course I'm going with that druid energy. There's a war in the stars. Heroes and villains with a high on style. See how I did that? Heroes and villains with a high on style. I do you one better. What's the first page? See, there's no talking there. I mean, it goes straight to the subconscious. See, that's all. That is one page. Okay, let's go to a little bit of words. So I went 3 pages in. Let me go 3 pages in. 1, 2, 3. The balance of the force. All stars with the stories are built around the eternal and internal struggle. Okay. And this is about Baba the Fat. What does Baba the Fat represent? The balancing of the force. So that's how you read magazines. I didn't invent that, by the way. Azazel Bay is one of the brothers that brought it to enlightenment, but it's my aunt. She invents these. She reads them the same way. Get you some envelopes, right? If you want something to come in the form of a package, get you some envelopes, because that's the only way you're going to get something that needs to be put in the envelope. Preferably vanilla envelopes. White envelopes are good. I see everybody doing the money challenges. That's the metaphysics of it. That's the energy of the money challenges that come through. You're going places. Okay? Transportation. I keep doing the readings. Transportation keeps coming. I got the 2023 almanac. But I got the 2024s on the way. The blooms to me is the best. You want to go in and actually understand what things you're cooking with, what herbs you're growing, what herbs grow around your house. What does that mean to you? What are your friends? Like where are your friends around you? What are your friends? What are their zodiac signs? Where do they sit when they're around you? Went over this some before. Then learning your inner self, whatever, part 1 through 3. But this is going to be a little bit more in depth. Also, what are you cooking? Is it moist and warm? Do you predominantly eat hot and dry things? Do you eat cold and moist things? Do you eat just hot and dry? Do you eat cold and dry? Do you eat fiery and dry? Is it more earthy? So it has a lot to do with your planets and where they are. You want to make sure that you get a natal reading, a natal chart reading, and make sure you eat according to the location that these things are inside your body. Matter of fact, let me do this right now. I should have had this pulled up. Okay, let's go to images. You want to Google things like cooking like a witch, stuff like that. There, it's a real art right there. It's a real art. Let's do this chart. Herbs and spices. It's about 85% on point. I want to see the chart, my friend. Show me that. Show me the money. Let's see. Okay, you're still not giving me what I want, but it's okay. That's why we did this printable medicine. Calling it medicine. Well, it is medicine, actually. See, when I wasn't looking for this, guess what? When I wasn't looking for it, it was right there. I saw a real good chart on Amazon about herbs and um how they relate to your things, your different charms and different. And it reminded me of something that my grandmother used to talk about. Let's go to Amazon.com. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty close to some organic shit. Allow, allow. Yeah, this is beginning to be too much. JJ, see shit like this. This is a lot. I should have had this done already. Okay, okay. Here you go. Here we go. So when you look at it, see, I was always taught to put cayenne around and cinnamon around the doorstep and window sills, but you got mint. You want to place that on your front porch. I'm just going off the cuff on some of this, but you got mint. You want to place it on your front porch. Uh, you also want to place oil of valera around your front porch. See, this is more of, they say, a witchery, but this is some of the ancient Celtic and Welsh goddesses. Nothing's wrong with that, but we're just going to attack it from every last one angles. We're gonna not just have in one region. We're gonna do the African holistic. We're gonna do the Druid. We're gonna do the Wicca. We're gonna combine all forces. We're gonna have all those ancestors coming in and doing us big favors. Um, Cinnamon, ginger. They got spearmint. Some put spearmint into the element or the herb, and basil for wisdom. I can see how that's for money, but also collard greens. We use collard greens for money. We use turnip greens for money. We use kale for money, not just because it's green. Because I like the Native American aspect. We gotta put light on as well. Uh, so yeah, so we use what's that? We also for money as well. We use cornbread. Cornbread also is for sweetness and anger. I could do a whole one on just soul food. This one is not really soul food based, but it also is not necessarily food based. It's more so uh herb based. So I see they got nutmeg on there. For a piece, you got mint. Also for a lot of us, we would use rosemary for mint, but it's fine. I see a couple things on here. Rosemary got rosemary for success. Okay, cool. Sassafras. Okay, cool. I see how the chart is mixed up or whatever. But yeah, so you could use that mustard for travel. Okay, definitely. Uh, that's probably why a lot of people want honey mustard wings, and honey mustard is like number one thing people want fried hard. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but I'm gonna tell you so because I know right now. Um, I'm gonna leave a link. Um, Book, Amazon. One of the things y'all can go back and look at or whatever. Just a friendly reminder. Um, Also, I can leave that link in. mm, in the chat. See, I'm gonna have to get the right click thing done over here. It's 9:33 now. Boom. Control C for copy. Control V for paste. Control C for copy. Control V for paste. It's not letting me copy and paste it into the link, y'all. I don't know what to do. Yeah, it's not letting me. Maybe it's too long. I don't know. Whatever. We gonna leave that alone. I did a pretty good job of that. Oh, it's too many characteristics over the limit. Oh, so I guess it limits you to a certain amount of characteristics you can have over the limit. I mean, and characteristics inside of the chat. Let's do this. That's where you can find that chart I was just looking at up. Okay, we 17 minutes in. Let's go in a little further. And this is just the surface. So much information, so much stuff. Cat Williams, like I was talking to someone earlier. Okay, we're gonna talk a little bit about Cat, but Cat Williams also shook up the internet. He shook up the internet because, for one, he came in at a perfect apex time. He popped off the new year. What was he wearing? He was cloaked in Saturn. He had all black on. Also, what was his antagonist wearing? Is not antagonist. What was his interviewer wearing? Because when you look at it, it's almost like versus. He was wearing tan. He was cloaked in tan, or he was cloaked in khaki. I'm saying that vanilla, right? What was his name? Shay Shay. Okay. I would whip out the yeah, I got that. I'm gonna do that for you. Let's do that. Get you one of these, player. We got one on fairies, one on druids, all that. Sorcery and spells. Yeah, we're gonna go into the Narctic for a second. See, also you have to understand SHA. All right. It's not always the exact same way. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. I saw something there. Somebody said somebody Shay Shay. Sif, the wife of Thor. Hmm. The Sif god. Hmm. That's deep. Um, a German word meaning veg is Vejni, the daughter of Veshsong, supposedly a descendant of Odin. Um, married against her will to a Gothic king, Shagger or Shagra. Yeah, no, that's probably about Shagra. Okay, I'm not gonna hurry up and jump and make the connection without doing a lot more research. But when I heard the name Shay Shay, it dawned on me about something. And also Shay Shay, he spells it Shay. It could be Shoo Shoo, right? It could be Sha Sha, right? All the you understand that the consonants are all the vowels all interchangeable, and so you can just play with the consonants and see if you can find a god that matches where he went to on this ancient battleground to bring forth this information. I thought about Shanu. Couple of things I thought about. We're not gonna get too further than that, but get you one of these. Get you a book of mythology. That's just to start out with, an encyclopedia of mythology. That just you can start decoding stuff for yourself. You have to always wait on somebody. Um, let's see. We was talking about the envelopes, getting you an almanac, eating plants that are in season, right? Um, eat plants early. Understand when people stand around you, what they got going on. Also understand the celestial, what's going on inside the celestial month. What's going on as far as what are the signs? What is the energy that's coming forth, right? Um, what is the what is when is the eclipse happening? When is the full moon? When is the next super moon? Right. So we also inside of an 11 year, because if you're using the 19, which is the lunar time. Matter of fact, I got all this down. I ain't got to go off the cuff. The golden number. So if you look at that golden number, it's going to show you that we're in the 19 plus 1, 2024. All right. There you go. For example, in 2024, dividing by 19 gives you the number 106. That's deep because if you want to go to 106 in Hebrew, right? Or to look at the Aramaic breakdown for the concordance for the number on 106. And I couldn't find my Strong's concordance. I like to show you. Might have to buy another one. And a lot of those that went up too, by the way. So if you can get one in a thrift store, you can get one on a secondary market book company, online company. It's good to have a physical copy. Remember the expressions of that year. The year of number of mile of 19 plus 1. For example, 2024 divided by 19 gives you 106. The remainder is 10. Adding 1 to the remainder gives you the golden number, which is 11. So everybody keeps thinking that we're in they added 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4. So that's how they got the 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 4, they got an 8. But they don't understand golden numbers. But that's what dealing with the lunar. And you can take it a little farther if you want to take it out and do the metallic cycle. This is deep and arcane shit. I don't expect you to know this. Just putting it down there for the record. Um, after you do all of that, the first thing you need to do is get you like something you put on the side of your bed. Have you have you a candle? It doesn't have to be a fancy candle. It could just be a little small candle. Have you a little candle? Get you some water in a cup. Don't leave it in bottled water. It's blocking that ancestor from getting through the top of it. All right. Pray over everything that touches you, everything you come in contact with, everything somebody give you. Pray over. So Get you a small little pamphlet, don't have to be this particular one, and get you a dream journal. Start documenting your dreams. These are all your ancestors and all your downloads is coming through. Get you a couple journals, have them laying around. Just have something you can document, something you can put down for the record. And like I said, doesn't have to be this, doesn't have to be that fancy. Just put it down where you can have it around you. Also, you always want to take notes when you wake up. Um, you definitely want to be able to download a lot of information. At the beginning of the year, this is the first quarter. You need to get you a free credit check because you get a free credit. That's your financial, right? That's your wealth and your financial. Get you a detox. The first thing you should be doing at the beginning of the year is detoxing. Well, and first go on a fast. It's already what 11 days in the game, so you kind of you didn't miss the bus at all. It's never too late for this. It's still first quarter. So go on a spiritual fast, which means you don't deal with people that y'all don't align. Go on a detox your phone. Detox your phone. For one, for two, um, just take away yourself from everything. Go into a zone where you can just be comfortable with doing nothing for a day or two. A lot of times people be bombarded and they're overwhelmed. Oh, I got to get this done. Oh, I got to save up for this. Okay, cool. It's fine to do your 100 letters envelopes challenge, or it's fine to do your budgeting, get your envelopes and get your time together, or whatever. There's no big rush. There is a rush, but there's not. Physically, there's a rush. Spiritually, there's no rush. Everything's gonna happen when the divine time is when it's supposed to. So there's no rush because if you die tomorrow, you were supposed to die. You rushed and didn't do shit about it. You didn't speed up the process, and you definitely didn't slow it down. So, like, knowing when your summer solstices, knowing when your summer solstices are, and what are you doing to offer, and winter solstices are, what are you doing to offer the ancestors or whatever at certain times. We can get into some of these love spells and love rituals and money rituals at these times because it's higher at these times. So it's just something to think about. Uh, let's see. Lunar eclipses, so forth and so on. Um, let's see. We're not finna get into all of that. Living by the signs. This information doesn't change, meaning this is a year old almanac. So living by the signs, eating by the signs. So when the plant flowers. So Irish potatoes decrease in moon in March. Plant corn in new moon or the first quarter of the moon for the best results. The first quarter is considered to be the most fruitful. This is deep because it got a lot to do with when you go fishing, right? It's got a lot to do with people who go hunting for coons and people who go hunting for wild animals and game and deer. When the first new moon is, all that type of stuff. All that has to line up properly. They if they don't have an almanac or either on their phone or something that they're doing things by the moon cycles, then they just I don't know. Maybe they meant for them to die. Oh, not die, but maybe it's not meant for them to slaughter animals. Spraying to destroy pests should be done in the last quarter when the moon is in the barren sign of Leo, Gemini, and Virgo. I agree somewhat with that. I think spraying for things should be done in every single quarter because we have these nuisance things that come back, rats and roaches or whatever. They also, on a metaphysical level, represent you haven't dealt with certain issues inside of your life, but on an underlining level, the the it's a nuisance in your yard, and you also need to clean up. You know, these are things that's done. So I talked about the physical. I talked about the financial. How you need to get a free credit report, study that credit report, understand where you are financially, because you can't be spiritually advanced and a guru and a witch and a wicca and a druid and a god and a wizard, and you broke. You mean to tell me you couldn't conjure up the spirits to do whatever you're bidding for you? I don't know. That doesn't equate. So the more spiritually you climb with that ladder, may also make it materialize. You must. That's the real magic. Other than that, you're just someone with a crystal ball that's putting in work. So for the spiritual realm, but the spiritual realm, if you're righteous, it'll bless you back around. It has to. if you're actually living by the code that you're supposed to, which is, being righteous. Well, and when you are righteous, then it'll bless you. You won't be spiritually inclined and poor. Something's wrong. There's a disconnect, right? So it's a closed chakra there, because every chakra should be opened up, or at least open up to a certain degree, and your aura should be clean to a certain degree. Well, if you're righteous, then you should be getting paid for being righteous. You should be rich. Not necessarily a millionaire, but you should have some form of wealth, some form of abundance. You should be practicing abundance. And if you're not, you need to be. So you got that going, boom. The second thing you need to do, I talk about the physical, that's the mind, body, and spirit. And get detoxing yourself around certain people, detox yourself from the entire world, doing a big old factory reset on your brain and on your spirit. Also, start setting up goals like, does this shit really matter? Goals. Go through your cart when you put it in your cart, because it could have been some spirit whispering in your ear trying to get you to buy this bullshit for them. And you really don't really need it. Yes, you can do that, but also, is that the right spirit? You know what I'm saying? It could be a spirit of greed. So you buying stuff 2 and 3 times. Do you really need that? So ask yourself, whatever, do I really need this right now? You know what I'm saying? Can I afford this right now? So I saw myself doing that, and I said, can this wait till next pay period? And a lot of times, yes, it can. I went from 15 items in my cart when I just did this one ritual, this one spell, and then it dropped down to like 7. Like I didn't need it. I save it for later. And also these had a lot to do with fruits and the water sign. So it says, never gather fruits and grain or vegetables in the water sign or a new moon, as they will surely decay just before the moon is in the best time. The full moon is the best time to gather shit. Also, when they talk about harvesting, they also talk about your spirit. So it has a lot to do with when you eat and what you eat, what cycles are you eating on. That's why, once again, it's good to create you a journal to know what it is you're eating and when you're craving it, and what cycles are you doing it in. You got to be the best scientist of you. It can't just be somebody telling you about you. You got to analyze and study you. If you don't do it, you can't expect nobody else to do the work. Plus, you could pay them for consultation, and that's great. But at the end of the day, you're constantly coming back and forth to them. You have to be your own wizard, your own witch, your own Sineta. You know what I'm saying? Your own you know, your own warlock, right? You have to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? If not, then you'll be constantly going to other people for your guidance. It is know thyself, not get to know me and I pay you to get to know me, and then I just keep paying you to get to know me. And hopefully I get to hear about myself instead of getting to know myself. So that's that. It said try to stop smoking during signs of Pisces and Capricorn and Aquarius. You experience fewer withdrawal symptoms. I'm actually going through that right now. Canned fruit and vegetables when moon is decreasing in light after full moon in the water sign of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Okay, that's a good one. Set eggs for hatching when the moon is in Cancer. Chicklets hatch in the new of the moon are stronger and grow more quickly than those hatched inside the old moon. Also, if you're into Reiki, right, you should, put eggs, not live eggs in your windowsill, but get it, get eggs from the store. And just try to rub the egg around your aura and try to cleanse yourself as much as you can. If you don't have the money for, well, not the money for an egg, but if you don't have an egg handy, get a white handkerchief. And you can practice that sometimes. Taking a white handkerchief and just pushing it all throughout your body, all over your field, like telling those remote viewers or telling those bad spirits, okay, it's time to go. I'm building up a spirit with me, around me, and for me that's going to work for me. I'm building up a platoon and an army. It's Star Wars. Yes, the hell it is. It is Star Wars, because we waging this war inside the stars. It is a space opera. So those are a few things. It's telling you when to cut your lawn and shit like that, and when to plant your greens and stuff like that. That's why your grandmother wanted to do it. Bring your garden to the stoop of your front porch. Know your zone. Don't be disappointed. Learn and grow from experience, not from all seasons. Speaking of this, right? Because this is some very good stuff to get, and it's only like what, $24 for shipping and handling. I didn't pay $24 for this when I got it from the store. I think I paid like $8 for this. It's probably a subscription thing where they send you a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, $22 for all 3 years. Oh, that's good. I'll buy that. Yep, I for sure buy that. Oh yeah, that's worth it. It tells you when to rotate your crops, what based off what zone you're in. Planting for January, what gardens to keep, what flowers you want. Smart onions, into the late part of the month. Keep heavy snow off the evergreens or tie branches together. To That's something my grandma used to do back in the day, and they used to put black bags over them or whatever. So when that frost set out or whatever, you would, what I'm saying, cover it so it don't damage it. Keep bird feeders filled with seeds. That's something I'm doing right now. I didn't even know it. Breadcrumbs and succulent uh, related foods. Yeah, I have an altar in my yard. I'm not gonna go into all that, but I have an altar in my yard right now to multiple things, for multiple seasons. For something, bring something bright. Try forcing into a bloom, cutting from flowering wooding plants, flowering quince and crable crab apple. Bring inside and place in water. Okay, cool. So I do got the birds are just running through it, man. I've ran through. I got songbird feeders, so the birds ran through in the last 2 weeks. They done ran through what normally takes them a month. In week one, when I put it in the front yard, it was running through it twice. I thought the cats was eating. Those the cats must be eating the damn bird food. So I moved to the back, and it went twice as fast. And then birds put the nest right. I said I'm hanging up high because I had it sitting off the ground. So I'm hanging up high so the cats can't get to it. Well, the birds went through it twice as fast. Speaking of that, I need to go out back when I finish doing this and add something to it. But yeah, I just feel like it's a demon in that bird. Keep going. Yeah, keep right on going. Yeah. January is natural for hot tea month. Tea has been filling our cups since back into the second century BC. Originating in China, tea has been grown to become the second most consumed beverage in the world. Anyone knows the number one tea consumed beverage? Water is the world's most consumed drink. However, 90% of the water on the earth is non-drinkable. See, that's true. Only 1% of the water is drinkable. I'm not finna get wrapped up in this. Get you one of these. If you a witch, if you wicked, if you into tarot, if you into you playing, if you ain't got one of these. You really you are internet. You know what I'm saying? I don't take you serious if you don't got no almanac. That's why you think all the old school people did it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in here about stones I'm not even getting into, and what wood to keep around your house, and what wood to put on your altar, and how to charge shit. I'm not even getting into all that. That's just the basic shit in here. Get you one of these. Every year, get a new one, right? Get you one. So the reason why I brought up that, because in the first quarter you're setting up a seed for growth, just like inside of for anything else. And then with you're tilling it in the first quarter, you're planting the seed, you're buying, purchasing the seed, which is the same as life, spirituality, finance. All these things coincide with each other. Then it will grow at the same rate. The second pentacle, right? The second pentacle. Let's talk with things that we know. Let's talk about things in the known and not in the unknown. All right. Let's speak from truth, not from speculation. I'll get you a natal chart, or you can send me one, and I can give you a real in-depth reading. Make sure a lot of people don't know what time they were born. They don't have them on birth charts, but try to talk to your parents and see what time you were born. Also, try to see what day of the week you were born on. That's important. And we can talk about that further when we go through consultation and further classes. That's also important. How many of your brothers and sisters were born the same day? We need to know your life path. You need to have a numerology reading ran on you, a numerology report. That's something I can do for you, or you can just get done for yourself, and then we can go over it during the consultation. That way we can get a better understanding and we can talk with, you know what I'm saying? And also I want to charge for the dream journals. I want to go into the dream aspect of it so I can help you interpret your dreams better or show you how to interpret them for other people. It's up to you. But we have those consultations. So your life path, your destiny number, the 4 pentacles is what I was just going over. So my destiny number is 7, which makes sense. Your destiny number sheds light on those things you must accomplish in your life in order to be fulfilled. I agree with that 100%. Life path was a 6. I thought my life path was a 5. It's something in my life. There's something got to do with 5. I see 5s all the time when I was a kid. Your soul number is 5. Okay, cool. Your soul number describes your deepest desires and dreams and revealing your inner private self, your underlying motivations, and your most ingrained attitudes. Your personality number, your maturity number, your balance number. Let's talk about this right here. Because also, matter of fact, I got something for you. Can't tell me I ain't putting in that work. I'm cooking while I'm doing this. I'm making my ancestors proud. I'm cooking while I'm doing this. I'm cooking physically and I'm cooking spiritually and I'm cooking on this live stream, okay? But I give you one of these numerology reports or whatever, and to help you if whenever you come down and we talk about certain things, your heart's desire number, your personal, your expression number, like 111. You're on the right path of abundance, alignments, creating your dreams to become reality. You're manifesting things with ease. So this is your reoccurring and your angelic numbers, what they break down into. It's a small little pamphlet, but I can get you on the right path with a couple things. How to understand what your characteristics are, how to understand and read and give readings to other people. I don't just want to take your money or have you got to come back. No, I'm going to show you how to get readings from other people and break down how to get these numbers yourself. It's stuff that's found in reality, that's just based in truth. Your 4 pentacles are going to have something to do with this right here. 4 pentacles represent the moments in your life in which you realize current goals and learn some of life lessons. So like I was saying, the 4 cycles coincide with the 4 pentacles and the 4 challenges, right? This is part of this is more of in-depth, right? But I want to do a fast track right quick to line something up for you. So your 4 pentacles is the same, like I was talking about, you plant the seed. So in the first months, January, February, March, right? You should be planting seeds, right? The same way as the beginning part of your life, you plant a seed. The first era of your life, you plant seeds, right? By second quarter, February, March, April, May, June, right? You're tilling the harvest. I mean, you're tilling the fields, not tilling the fields. I mean, you're watering this shit. You're watering it, watching the fruit. So by June, going into July, you should be seeing fruit from shit you put in January and February. You should, if you're doing it correctly. You should be seeing fruit from shit you had put in, work you didn't put in, right? So July, August, September, that's when you should be taking all this stuff. It should be grown. You should be it should be growing up and it should be growing to its height to the point where it's ready for you to harvest. October, November, December. Not only has it harvested, not only do you have it, now you're getting the seeds so you can start back over for the new year, and you're putting stuff together so you can don't have to be scattered. If you're scattering in the fourth quarter, you didn't put in work. You missed a step somewhere. You shouldn't be scattering the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, you should be shucking the stuff, putting stuff up for cans, having more than enough in abundance. This is during October. This is harvest season. This is cornucopia. This is we're putting stuff more seeds aside for the new planting process of the next following year. We have canned our vegetables, we've canned our desires, we've canned our wants, we've canned our needs, and we are in that time of essence, so to speak, in the spirit. This is what Halloween is during this time period. Hallows Eve, all these things coincide. Don't think nothing that ain't synchronistic. Don't think nothing line up. Everything line up. I don't care what religion you are. We can sit down long enough. I can show you how everything line up. I don't care if it's Egyptology. I don't care if it's Golden Dawn. I don't care if it's Saintism. I don't care if it's Hinduism. I don't care if it's Islam. I don't care if it's Al Islam. I don't care if it's Sikhism. All of the holidays, all of the gods, all of them are interchangeable. I don't care if it's the ancient runes that we're using it or it's the I Ching. I don't care. All of this is going to line up. Promise you. Right? So hold on. Let's not get lost. Okay, cool. So with all that being said, right? This is similar to the Four Pentacles in life. The Four Pentacles represent okay. In the beginning, you are at the beginning of the pinnacle. Then you can be used as a predictive tool to assist in managing your future. Your first pinnacle begins at your birth. I'm not saying it's represented, and lasts till you're around about 27. So if you're in your first pinnacle, you're living in that first cycle, you're living in that first pinnacle, then don't worry about it. You're still trying to figure it out. By the time these numbers aren't direct, right? That's why they say age around, right? Just like if we still celebrate New Year's, even though it's 11 days past it, it's the season of the New Year is still here. But technically speaking, it ain't a New Year. Because technically speaking, the New Year don't come around until Aries, April 1st. But for the sake of the calendar and the sake of us not to be lost in soccer, I got a whole nother series I'm gonna do just on time and how time is measured in the Vaultic time signatures. And I said the word time signature, I kind of gave it up. But inside of music, there's time signatures, and inside of different forms of measuring time. The international standard operation of time, and who started time, and when did time start, and why did they start it, and what are their systems, and why did they say that? Like in the Islamic calendar, it's like the year 1535 AH after the Hajj. That means it was 1500 years since Muhammad, right, walked the earth, Salahi wasalam, and Prophet Muhammad, Salahi wasalam, came to earth and took the El Hajj to Mecca, and their calendar starts there. But if you're Gregorian, then your calendar starts based off of Jesus. So we're gonna get into break that whole thing down. In the Sanskrit calendar and the Hindu calendar, and it's like 100 different calendars. Which one is the oldest? Which one is the most valid? Right? Who had the 12-month calendar first? Why don't we use the 13-month calendar? When did we stop using 13-month calendar? It's a lot of shit. Anyway, let's get back to this, because sometimes I digress. The spirit be taking me in so many different directions, right? So your second pinnacle lasts from until the next 9 years. In which this third pinnacle lasts for 9 years. So after the second pinnacle has passed, your fourth pinnacle picks up where your third pinnacle ends up and lasts you to the rest of your life. So once we do your numerology chart, we can get into what pinnacle you're in, what stages you're in, what cycle you're in. Right? Then we go into the challenges. See, challenges denote a personal weakness and temptation you will have to overcome, as well as strengths you should have to develop to fully realize your goals. The four challenges have the same time frame as the four pinnacles. Then we go into the cycles. There are 3 cycles, right? This occurs from your first to your 28 years of period. Your first cycle lasts from the birth until about 28 years old, or what they call a Saturn return, a Saturnaic birth, which is like 929.9 years, 30 years, which is also a degree, right? Which is 30 degrees, right? When you're doing a chart, 30 degrees, 30 degrees equals one angle, right? Uh, so let's get into that. But it's called a formative or seed cycle. What I was just breaking down. The second cycle is a productive or fruit cycle, which brings in around about 30 and lasts you until about 56 years old. The third cycle is your harvest cycle, which begins when you're about 57 and lasts through the rest of your life. This cycle number tells you your lessons you must learn and goals you must meet to stay on your path, your life path, and achieve your true destiny. That's why you got people that's 40 and 50 years old that's still working hard, but you shouldn't be 60 years old or 50 years old working hard. You didn't do nothing during the fruit cycle. You didn't put up shit, so you ain't got shit. You fucked around, you played, you laughed, you joked. So you don't have nothing in return to give your grandchildren. I gotta go and work some more. You dropped the ball somewhere, not just for you, but for your entire family. But if we just talking about you spiritually, you dropped the ball, physically, you dropped the ball, and mentally, you played around. I understand life be life and shit do happen. But what I'm trying to tell you is you have to put in that work so you don't have to. It's much harder when you're older putting in that work. It's much harder. You have to figure out a way to connect and put it in now. It's much harder, I'm telling you. So make sure you put it in early so you ain't 60 punching somebody clock and somebody 25-year-old is your supervisor telling you what to do. You don't want that. And you can barely move. I'm old enough to be your grandson or your grandfather. And you put yourself in this situation. The science doesn't feel bad for the walrus that didn't survive because it didn't grow into what the walrus evolved into now. It's survival of the fittest. The tree doesn't feel sad for the other little trees that don't get grow as strong as tall to be the highest in the rainforest to grow over all the rest of them. It doesn't feel bad. That's just the way life goes. You can sit back and hate it, but it's life. If you can spend all your time complaining, you're not learning. A tree doesn't spend all its time sweating, and it damn sure doesn't take all its time producing seeds. There's a time for that. It doesn't take all its time blooming. There's a time for that. It grows in cycles, and so do people. So somebody says, "Man, I'm the same all the time." Something wrong with you. I'm the same with everybody. Okay, you should be a little different to yourself, right? And you should constantly be growing into a new and better individual, whether better, good, or bad perspective, right? But anyway, you should be going through these cycles. I'm not giving up too much. This course I ain't gonna make it too long because I got some things I got to do when I get off the phone. Um, your comic number, your birthday number, your personal month number, your foundation number. All these things got something to do with your lettering of your name. Is your name balanced? You know what I'm saying? That's why some people call themselves something else, right? Because they feel like that's more balanced than what the name at birth that was given in it. Then you have spiritual names. And some people are more inclined with those. Then somebody give you a name sometime, it's a spiritual name, but they ain't in tune. So they're just trying to be deep. But that ain't your true frequency. So we're gonna get into all that. Your lucky number. My lucky number is 3. I always feel lucky with 3. My angelic number is 33 every time, but I always was getting that since I was kids. Since I was a kid. You want to get this done, put into your notes. Um, definitely have your natal chart done. Definitely know what time you were born and where all the planets were and all the houses. Then and only then, when we go into deep consultation, this is more of a soul consultation thing. Then we can go into life trends. I can do all that for you, or I can show you where you can get that done. And we're going to different life trends going throughout your entire life, right? Where the planet's going to be at in the next 3 years, what constellations are going to arrive. And then we can go into personal horoscope day by day reports, right? And we don't have to call in Somebody day by day, I give you a printable PDF or whatever where you can look at it day by day by day. And we can talk about people to stay away from at certain times. Also, I can give you two of those. We can do a timeline report, which is real in depth. We're talking about like 300 pages type shit. But that's a lot more. You see how thick this is. So it's a lot of information here. And this is just on myself. All this is broken into sections just on myself. Right? You need to be doing this every single year, along with a credit report on yourself, seeing where you stand on yourself. Right? You need to be doing looking at your photo journal, your journals on yourself, right? And these are all the things you need to be doing and lining up everything you eat along with the stars and what angelic events are going on at the same time, saving up things at the same time doing your spiritual work at the same time looking at everything metaphysically and knowing what the fuck time it is, not letting nobody play with you out here, and knowing how to move and knowing how to be blessed and knowing what different cloves and stuff and different incense to spray on your body to ward off all those evils and knowing how to navigate through this next year, this next dimension we're going through. Let's see. We're not even gonna go into the trends. I'll say that for another show. Angelic numbers, metaphysics. We're not even gonna go into what I was looking at earlier today. We're not. I was gonna go into how people drive and how I can just spend 5 minutes on it. We already encroaching a minute. Well, I'm not a minute. That's deep, but we are encroaching an hour at 56:22. So like, as I was driving earlier, I like to people watch. That's something I do a whole lot. I like to people watch. And I like to stare at people. And I like to do it in a good way. Okay, I like to put spells on people in a good way. Right? You can do it in a negative way or unpositive or unloved way. You could sit there and stare at somebody and make them trip up. You could sit there and stare at somebody and make them wreck their car. Right? That's advanced shit. Or you could sit there and stare at somebody and a person or individual or stare at a picture. This shit is real. Whether you believe it or not is irrelevant. It's people out here doing it and charging big money for it. I don't know why the hell that shit came up. The beekeeper. That's deep. That's a deep name. That's probably why it came up. Because you collected over the beehive. That's what they call it. If Beyonce is the beehive, then who's keeping the bee? Who's the bee? Who's the beekeeper? All right, everybody talking about, oh, they come in a swarm in the beehive. Well, who the beekeeper? She's just a queen inside of a hive. Who's keeping up with the keeping of the damn hive and the colony? That who control the power, not the queen. But anyway, and it could be a woman that's over the beehive. I'm not just saying that because of Jay-Z. It could be a woman that's over the beehive, but just know that you on the chessboard. People say, well, I'm a king, I'm a queen. Well, king and queen is on the chessboard. And you're being put in game when you're on that black and white. You're being put in game. So if you look down at your floor, and if you're in a building and you see black and white, you're being put in game. As soon as you see black and white on the floor, a checkerboard floor, I don't give a fuck if you're at a courthouse. I don't care if you're at a house. I don't care if you're at a synagogue. You're being put in game. Somebody's moving you around. Know that. All right? If it's at a studio, wherever you at, you being put in game. Because that's where we play the games at. Hell, it could be a courtroom and you being put in game. And those most of the time, those are hardwood floors. But yeah, back to the drive. I like to watch people, you know what I'm saying, get busy, putting in that work, putting spells and love spells on people, protection spells when I hear ambulances, things like that. I'm just putting, when I hear those sirens, right? I like to put those blessings on people. I hope they get there as fast as they can. I hope they help as many people as they can. I hope that person survives. You know what I'm saying? Just like it was a friend of mine, we was on the porch chilling, and he heard the police siren. He said, "I hope that guy get away. I hope that person get away." I said, "What if they molested children?" He stopped for a second. Said, "You're right." I said, "You can't hope that everybody get away. You can't hope that. I hope that person gets justice, and if not by that cop, that justice is served. I don't wish bad on that person. I don't wish good on them. Like my grandma used to tell me, you gotta wish good on the devil, right? Or and you ain't gotta say a prayer for an angel. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta wish bad on the devil. But yeah, you ain't gotta wish a prayer for an angel because they already blessed. That person's already cursed. There's nothing you can do about it. So like I don't wish good or bad on no particular person at all. Give a fuck how wrong you do me. Right? That's also a law. So we can get into that. We ain't talking about Kabbalion, we talking about like a law and witchcraft. There's levels to this shit. So yeah, so I do that a lot. Of people watch, and I was just looking at people on their way to work as they're like putting their best foot forward, waking up from the night before. Just do that. Ride without music and just watch people's eyes and their faces when they had red lights. I think it got a lot to do with being in trauma and being in like Joe Rogan said, you're inside this small little can, and it's the anxiety of being in the can, and somebody could hit you in another can, and you're like, please stay away from my can while I'm driving down the road. I have my kids in here, and you're going 60 miles an hour, and your heart is racing. The activity of driving is actually somewhat stressful. The faster you go, the more stressful it becomes. And for people who go real fast all the time, the stress level begins to because they begin to be numb to it. That's why people in traffic are like, get the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because they're it's too many people. And then you got to understand, like my friend was telling me, we was talking one time, we was talking about some arcane shit, next level dream underworld shit. He was like, yo, it's too small in here for our thoughts in here. It ain't big enough. Let's go outside. We open up the door, and our auras and our thought auric field was overlapping each other so much where we couldn't really think clearly. So we had to go outside where it was more space to think because it was just too big to be small and confined inside of a car. So just couple that with hundreds of people sitting behind each other on a spiritual level, like on a physical level, that person got road rage. And on the spiritual level, on the metaphysical, on the spiritual level, that person hate being touched by so many people of their empath. They hate being touched by so many people auric fields. This rubbing against theirs as they're riding along the way, and they're forced to be confined inside this small thing. Spiritually, they're supposed to do that. Spiritually, they doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. It's nothing but divine time. Spiritually. You know what I'm saying? When you cuss somebody out, they supposed to get cussed out. But knowing what spirits you attracting to. Like if you're not thinking you a real wizard and you attracting your reality and you brought that argument on, then you lost in the sauce. Physically, yeah. Spiritually, yeah. And metaphysically, you still lost all three. And all that can result in you losing your life. Yeah, let that sink in. But I just be watching people or whatever. And I watch them also when it's sundowning. Then you got to understand what governs these hours. What's witching hours? That's basic shit. What time do people start speeding up? Around about 8, 9 o'clock. What time they get home? Around about 11, 1 o'clock. What time they want to go home? Around about 4, 5 o'clock. In America, okay, because that's our custom and our cultural norms. That's a 9 to 5, 5-day work week, right? What day were you born has a lot to do with what day you react and how you look at that particular day. That has a lot to do with a lot. So, hmm, sound like they in a rush. But yeah, so yeah, just understanding what you got. Bless your car. Like grandma used to have it with the Bible in there, or Muslims have it with the Quran. Whatever sacred book you have, you can write a spell or create a talisman and put it in your car. Hell, you are the talisman. You are the charm. You are the spirit. You are the aura. It's up to you how deep you want to go down this rabbit hole and how advanced you want to go. That's why I got all these courses to lead you up to the elevator room. Because the elevator room, you got to take all these prerequisites to even get up in the elevator room. We're not going to be talking about whether this is real or whether this is not as real, whether this is illusion. No, 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 no. We had time for that. The time for that is over with. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely going to be getting into a lot of things and how the chakras is connects with the, like I said, the prerequisites you should already know how the chakras connect and line up with the days of the week, the Kabbalion, the Tree of Life, the Kabbalah. This is just prerequisite stuff. Arguing over whether Jesus is real and shit and what color he is, we're not about to do that. He's a consciousness. It's a consciousness. If you don't have those prerequisites, you need to be welcome to this class. So I think I nailed on all of the points. Yeah, having you a planner too. I think I went over that. Getting you a natal chart, having you a planner. But yeah, so I'm your order. Restlessness over. I'm gonna let that energy go down. You know what I'm saying? And I had a good time. I think this was a real good spill. I think this was real powerful. I crammed a lot in 1 hour. Originally, it was planned for 11 at night. But I said, I'm not standing. I got to work, mom. It's already 10:22. Boom. Good way to end it. Peace. Till we meet again. And contact me. I ain't hard to reach. I ain't hard to find.